On display this morning, a long overdue look at the work of one of America's unsung artists. Alina Cho visits a show of paintings by Stanley Whitney.
You can be certain that a morning at Stanley Whitney's studio will involve three things: an abundance of color, a familiar Miles Davis tune, and a deliberately ferocious brushstroke.
For you, that first mark is the top left corner.
Yeah, it is still.
Why? Why there?
It feels good to me. I don't know why. I don't, you don't really worry about why. Why doesn't exist, or even how. It just is.
The works that made Whitney famous are these colorful canvases, 4 horizontal rows of varying hues. But don't call it a grid, or worse, a formula.
Describe it to me.
Color.
But the structure.
Color. It's about rhythm. It's about space, so people can think clear or feel clear.
Whitney grew up in a small black community outside Philadelphia. From a young age, it was clear he was interested in art.
My first devastation was going to first grade and realized I couldn't draw anymore. I had to start reading.
Going to art school spared him from the Vietnam War draft. He moved to New York in 1968. Early on, Whitney focused squarely on making art and little else.
The Black Panthers were asking what you're doing for the race, what are you doing? And
They wanted you to join the struggle.
yeah, right, and I wanted to paint.
So he painted and painted, yet struggled to find an audience.
You had a tough time getting a break.
Well, it was race. It was really race.
Fed up, in the early 1990s, he and his wife, painter Marina Adams, moved to Rome. Inspired by the geometry of the Colosseum and the pyramids in Egypt, the abstract artist had a breakthrough.
The stacking of forms, very basic things. We think about ancient monuments and the stacking. There's no space between those massive rocks, those massive blocks of the pyramids.
Kathleen Chaffee is the curator of Stanley Whitney's first major retrospective at Buffalo's AKG Art Museum.
And he sort of felt this freedom looking at that he didn't need to find landscape anymore. He didn't need to have air. He could allow his colored forms to support each other.
She calls Whitney one of America's greatest living painters.
He's 78 years old. He's been painting for more than 50 years. Why is this his first major retrospective?
I think that attention and scholarship on artists of color is still something that's come later than it should have come. And for an artist like Stanley, I think that's definitely been the case.
This painting I thought was a failure.
Really?
Yeah, I put it in storage. I never showed it.
Many of these works have never been shown in public.
What do you say to the viewer who might look at these paintings and say, they all look the same to me?
I would ask them if the colors remind them of anything. There might be a yellow that reminds you of a blouse your mother had. It's a way in and a way to spend time with them. And it takes you out of your everyday life and gives you a chance to occupy a different kind of space.
A look outside the box that Stanley Whitney hopes sparks something inside, too.
What do you hope people will feel when they look at your work?
Better. Much better. Much better.